everyone, and welcome to Lattes on My Mind. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Felina.
What are we going to be talking about today, Felina?
Today we're going to be talking about the Kingston Clan.
What? That sounds a little scary.
Well, we'll get into it.
All right, so grab those lattes and join us for the journey.
Hannah.
What's up?
Whew, I feel like I've been dying these past couple weeks. Let me tell you what.
Why?
Because I'm just busy.
Oh, you are busy. You've got the whole other thing going on.
I'm not just going to work and coming home and doing whatever. I'm going to work and then I'm doing play, and then now I'm also doing stuff for Marshall's band. And so I'm just busy. I know. That since like Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been busy. I don't know about you. But
but not that busy yet. But I've been doing interviews for second jobs. So we'll see. Yeah. If I get a second job, I'll be super busy.
Did you ever hear back from that one place that we shall not name?
No. But granted, it was on Thursday. So
still.
I know. I'm a little nervous, but maybe it'll be Monday.
Fingers crossed for Monday.
I didn't hear back from either of them.
You didn't hear back from the other one?
No. They hate me.
What?
As you can, guys, money is.
Well, here's what's weird about that is when I was applying for jobs, I wouldn't hear back, period.
Yeah,
that's true. I got an interview, I would hear back.
Yeah. You would think. That's why I was like, well.
Wild. Especially because the one place you applied to really needs the help.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, really?
Like, they need it. Like, we were there the other day, and it was like there was one person. And,
you need the help.
The line was ridiculous.
I will say I do think that my availability probably has to do with it, and not so much. Yeah. Hopefully not so much just me. I don't think I'm great at interviewing, but I'm good at the job. So when I get it,
yeah.
So it's like,
but also the one place, the first place that you had an interview at, that's the place I'm talking about, and it was in the evening time. That it was
they need help, and that's when I need to be there.
They need help in the evening, clearly.
Gosh. Anyway, as you can see, I need some money, and so I'm trying to get a second job. So if I do, I'll be as busy as you, and we'll be crying. And
that's the only reason I'm so busy is because these are all they don't pay much, but they're all here's a little extra, here's a sprinkle of
cash,
financial security,
and we all need it.
Yeah, we do. Don't we all?
Don't we all?
We're also super depressed today because we have these LED. They're like neon signs, but they're LED. And
once the coffee, it's on.
The coffee is the only one working. And then we also have a dachshund in a cowboy hat with a bandana. And that one we thought we fixed by just smacking the heck out of it.
She held down the button. No, I held down the button. She smacked it and it turned on. And it was going, and we're like, sweet.
It was good, and then it just stopped.
Well, the microphone turned on.
And then we have a podcast microphone, and I swear to you guys, I tried so hard to turn it on, and nothing was working. And then she just flipped the switch, and it turned right on.
It's whenever, I feel like the universe wants us to think each other is crazy, because whenever we're like,
this
look
like a liar.
Work, and this didn't, and it always works when the other starts.
Yeah. And then we have a goose in a cowboy hat, and that one just, nothing. There's no signs of life for him, so.
He's darn tootin' dead.
I'm gonna have to do some surgery to him, or really have Marshall do surgery to him.
So we need more LED lights lit up. It's a little depressing, but it's also really pretty outside.
It is also kind of depressing. Beautiful outside.
We're in here.
Flowers.
I know.
I potted flowers in hanging planters to hang on our back deck.
Yeah.
And I did 2 less than we did last year because we rearranged our deck a little bit, and so it's where we had 2 of the flowers. One of the flowers died in the spot that it was at. I think it just got way too much sunlight, and it was always
too much.
Crispy. And there's also an outlet right there, and I would always accidentally spray the outlet, and we'd have to reset the breaker.
Oops.
But that's beside the point. Who put an outlet right there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we didn't put one in that spot, and then we didn't put one in one of the other spots because the grill is now in the way, and I just didn't feel.
You don't want to move. I don't want to put that.
I don't want to put anything even next to the grill.
I don't blame
there's because it's hot and
it's
gonna
anything
kill
you catch on.
Exactly.
or die.
Yeah. And so we might put some herbage, some basil if you would.
Basil.
Some cilantro.
I don't like cilantro.
It tastes like soap. But Marshall uses cilantro a lot, and I feel like it would be beneficial because y'all groceries are high.
Oh my gosh, that's why I'm trying to get a second job, y'all.
Groceries,
well, just because groceries, but
they expensive. So if we can cut some of that,
they expensive.
We're gonna. So like, if we don't need to ever buy cilantro or basil again,
like those little things, they add up.
Potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers, greens, beans. All the things.
Song? Potatoes, tomatoes.
Yes. Well, it was this lady talking, and they like
Wes was like, let's grow potatoes whenever we get a house. I'm like, can you grow potatoes around here?
You can grow potatoes right now, Hannah. You know what?
In a pot?
You can put them in a bucket. You get a 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. They're not that expensive. They're really not.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And then you put some soil in there. Then you plant the potatoes. Soil. And then you put more soil on top. Do you just cut up
the potatoes?
You just cut those babies up.
Just like, because they can grow when they're sitting in like a...
I think they make like seeded potatoes
but why would you do
can
that?
Sell. Like they sell, like I've seen them at Meijer and I've seen them at Target, I think. Where it's like already like pre-cut tomatoes potatoes.
Tomatoes and potatoes.
I'm a potato.
Small potatoes on the moon. Have you heard that one? Small
potatoes I haven't.
In the sea.
I can just see like dancing.
They are
potatoes, tomatoes, potatoes, and then like the background changing, and then they got cute little eyes.
Exactly what it is. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna show you. It's like I think it's a British show.
Yeah, because I think I had some kiddos
maybe saw it.
that I would. Yeah, be in close quarters.
It's like in the deep recesses of your brain somewhere.
Yeah. And they would watch it.
Yeah. I've taken up a lot of time talking about this. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah.
But like I said, groceries are expensive. Yeah. So if there's things that we can grow at home and not have to buy at least until like winter time,
right?
That's gonna help so much.
I just don't have anywhere like to plant an actual garden.
No,
but
you don't.
But
you can do potatoes.
That's true.
In a bucket. And I feel like
inside
that's better.
Or like on my porch.
Oh, like on the porch.
On the porch.
On the porch.
I have like a little balcony.
Yeah, you can.
I never go out there.
Well, you're gonna have to if you're.
What if the squirrels eat it? Because they come up there.
You spray them with a water bottle.
I'm like, those dang squirrels are in my potatoes again.
We didn't have any trouble with like squirrels getting into our garden.
I just say that because it's the only thing that like, gets up on the. Well, besides like birds.
Yeah.
But
we really didn't have that much trouble. The only thing that we had like issues with was like insects.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Because it's
But potatoes, they're roots, right? So does that help a little bit with the...
Yeah.
How long do they take to grow?
I don't actually know. We kept saying we were going to do it last year.
You do it.
And then we never did it.
You do it and tell me how it goes.
Yeah, I will. But I think that the bucket method is pretty cool because... Then you can just dump the bucket out and collect your potatoes. You don't have to dig around hoping you got all the potatoes.
How many can you fit in a? Do you think?
We're gonna learn.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn, and she's gonna.
I'm gonna ask my uncle.
Okay, uncle,
because he
done
had a pretty successful garden last year.
Oh.
So what he did was really cool. He used the garden as landscaping, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, like it looked pretty too.
Yeah,
he must have invested a lot of time. I can't do it.
He's a smart cookie. That one.
He's a smart cookie.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try and. He told me because we planted our garden a little late last year, and he was like, "You still have time for potatoes." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
He's what are the season?
Potatoes you can plant pretty late in the season.
Pretty late, and I feel like be pretty early. I feel like you can just kind of.
You can just keep planting potatoes.
I feel like cucumbers, zucchini, they're pretty easy to grow.
We got zucchini, we got squash. Summer squash. Yeah.
I love those.
One of our favorite things to do is cut up the zucchini and the summer squash, smear them in some oil and some garlic and some
But that oil will be lots
pepper.
of points on the Weight Watchers.
Yes, it do. Also, have we told the people that we're on Weight Watchers yet?
I don't even know if we actually have.
Hey, everyone, we're also on Weight Watchers.
Yeah, and we're having some results.
We are having some results. We're loving
the potatoes because the potatoes are
free.
That's why.
The oil you put on potatoes a lot of times, not free.
Not so free. For those of you who don't know, it's like a point system. It's like, okay, this certain food is this many points, and you have like so many points a day.
Yeah.
And you can't you can go over it a little because you get weeklies.
Yeah, you have
but you got to kind of stay in that range. And so that's how
you get your dailies and then you got your weeklies. And your weeklies are there for especially if you have a birthday or you're going to go out on date night or
date night is for
really want a piece of chocolate cake. And You just been craving it, so you're gonna dip into your weeklies.
Well, today. I said I'm gonna dip into my monthlies. I said, "What's that? Your monthlies?"
I don't know about a monthly.
He's like, I was like, yeah. He's like, it's an extra subscription. I was like, oh yeah, you can just get an extra subscription and you get monthly. Sure.
But yeah, no. So we're doing that.
Yeah,
pretty happy with it. I will say,
what?
I'm getting sick and tired of because I'm so busy. I have like the same thing that I get from like fast food places, and you can't really deviate from that because everything else is like,
it's so many points.
Surprisingly though, Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Taco Bell's our savior.
It really is. That cantina bowl.
Taco Bell has some pretty.
Those black
you can
beans
make
as a
it because
side?
you can customize everything.
Yeah,
so you can make it low points. And Taco Bell already has reduced fat sour cream.
Yes.
So.
Do they have reduced fat baked beans? Baked beans? What the heck?
Baked beans.
Refried
Looking
beans.
like a baked bean.
A baked bean.
A baked bean.
Oh my gosh. It's 11 minutes. Speaking of baked beans.
I don't know about I've never gotten refried beans from Taco. Actually, that's not true. It's in the beef and 5 layer.
Burritos. Yeah.
That's my go-to.
I was wondering if it's
not anymore, but
the reduced fat, I don't think that they do, because like the fat-free ones at Kroger are free. You can get refried beans, fat-free.
Well, refried beans.
It's hard to say. Baked beans.
Those types of beans are
they're pinto beans, right?
They're pinto beans with cheese.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well,
so you can just mash up some pinto beans.
Oh wait, yeah, you could, but no, they don't have. What are you talking about? Like in the burritos? Because there's no cheese in refried beans.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
That's how you make refried beans.
No, it's
refried
just
beans. No, it's beans,
it's
and then you put cheese and then some creamer in there. Yes, you do, because we made it.
No, there's no cheese.
I promise.
Is there cheese in refried beans?
There's cheese in there. I guarantee
Maybe
it.
in the recipe you made.
I promise. You guys get to see.
No, traditional refried beans do not inherently contain cheese. That's according to AI. Hold on.
Well, okay.
Authentic refried beans.
I don't know where Marshall got the recipe from, but he was like, I think he got it from his coworker.
I thought it was literally just like ground up beans. What is this? Where's this recipe?
Beans, and then you also there's like a Mexican table cream, I think is what he put in it.
Crema?
Yeah,
like the
and then sprinkled some cheese in there, and then that's refried beans.
This one takes 3 hours.
Oh gosh.
Large pot. Okay, pinto beans, onions, chili powder, cumin, salt, pepper, a half a cup of lard.
Ew, I don't think we did that.
But then they do have cojita cheese crumbled for garnish, but not like in the refried beans.
Maybe he did only put it.
Maybe
on top.
It was on top.
I just know that there was cheese involved.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with putting cheese in it for sure, but it doesn't typically have cheese. I don't think, like, if you buy a can.
How did we get to beans?
I don't know, but we probably should talk about.
I was just sitting here and I was like, wait, because there was something else I was going to say before we got to beans, and I cannot remember for the life of me. The
people have already clocked out. Are you guys still here?
Or maybe they're here because they're like, I didn't know you could plant potatoes in a bucket.
Yeah, you should try it.
You should try it out. Let me know how it works out for you. You can reach us at lattespodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram under Lattes on My Mind, or you can reach us on our website at lattespodcast.com.
But you know what you shouldn't try out?
What's that?
Cults.
You know what you shouldn't do? Join a cult.
No, you shouldn't do it.
Also, another side note before we join the cult.
We're not going to do that.
Another side note is we have officially launched our website.
Right.
And we want you to submit your dogs. You can go to lattespodcast.com and you can go to the Animal of the Week page and you can submit it from there.
Or your cats.
Or your
chinchillas.
Dogs, cats, birds,
potatoes,
snakes.
tomatoes.
Any of them.
Yes.
Any animal, any furry or lack of fur friend you may have. If you got a pet bat, we want to see it.
You do not have a pet bat.
Pet bats.
They can get rabies. Well, I mean, yes.
Yeah, I know they can. Any animal can get rabies.
But they're prone to.
If you got a monkey, let's see it.
Oh, I want to see it.
Let's see it. You know what else we're gonna see?
What are we gonna see?
The Kingston Clan.
Oh dear.
Okay, so
they don't sound nice.
They don't sound nice.
I'm scared.
Okay, so the Kingston Clan is also kind of, there's many names. Okay.
All right.
So it's the Latter-day Church of Christ. So this is a fundamentalist group.
Okay.
From that broke away from the Latter-day Saints.
Which is Mormonism. Right? Okay.
Yes. Okay. If you haven't listened to our Mormon podcast, yes, you should go listen to it. It'll make more sense. This one will make more sense. Yes. So it's called Latter-day Church of Christ, LDCC, or Davis County Cooperative Society.
Cooperative Society?
DCCS.
Okay.
So it's a fundamentalist group, denomination, whatever we want to call it. With that like started from LDS. It's also called like the media calls it the Kingston Clan or the Kingston Group.
Right, because they recognize it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But internally, and how I'm gonna refer to it most of the time, it is called the Order or the Co-op.
The Order? That's scary. It sounds like we're joining.
It sounds like Star Wars.
Exactly. That sounds like it's like the Empire.
Yeah, the Empire. The Order strikes back.
Right. So I don't know if you're going to get into this. If so, don't answer this. But Alrighty. Why did they break off? Do you have that like from the Mormon Church?
Well, yeah.
Can we get into that? Okay.
But we'll get into it a little bit, but it's for very similar reasons as like any fundamentalist group breaks off from the LDS Church.
Gotcha.
So in 1935,
oh boy,
the cooperative. It's the
co-op.
There's so many like acronyms. So the Davis County Cooperative Society, cooperative. It was established by Eldon Kingston, who is the son of Charles Kingston, who is the founder. Charles Kingston is founder. And then in 1977, they organized the members of the Davis County Cooperative Society organized the Latter-day Church of Christ.
Okay.
So there's a good chunk in between those two. They formed it to be able to continue the concentration of wealth, which basically means, so we're already getting into it. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
That's another thing. This is mainly based off my memory because I read a bunch of articles and then neglected to write notes as I was reading. So I had to remember some stuff and go back. I went back and like found the dates and everything, but so we might be jumping around a little bit. But it was formed for the concentration of wealth, which basically means that members pledge all of their like earnings, all their money, all of it, and all their belongings to the church. So everything that they own, they don't own. It belongs to the LDCC.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Or the DCCS. And then they also wanted, to continue plural marriage.
Oh.
Which, as we know from the Mormon episode,
right,
that ended or was outlawed by the LDS Church in 1926.
Right, and it's only like the the fundamentalists?
Yeah,
it's what they're called. Do that still.
Yeah, and they're not like if you have plural marriage, you're not a part of the LDS Church. Yeah, especially if it's found out. You're out. So the founder, the patriarch, was Charles W. Kingston from 1935 until 1975.
Dang.
And then it was Eldon Kingston, Charles' son, from 1935 to 1948. And then it was John Ortel Kingston from 1948 to 1987. And then it now is Paul Eldon Kingston, 1987 to... He's still the leader.
From the 80s?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he is, I believe, John Ortel's son.
And who's John Ortel is the
previous.
The one like it goes in succession.
I'm pretty sure it's like...
Oh, you're like pretty sure it goes... Like,
it's the previous leader's favorite son.
Okay, not oldest, favorite.
Literally favorite. Yeah. I remember reading literally it was like he was his favorite son, and then he was his favorite son. And not oldest. I never saw it say oldest son. It always said favorite son. So it was
probably whichever was going to adhere to the teachings.
Basically, whoever is brainwashed the most.
Right.
The easiest to brainwash into this. That's who gets it.
So in
1928, that we're just going through like a history of it right now. We'll get into more. 1928, Charles, the founder, was excommunicated from the LDS Church for continuing to preach polygamy, and he also handed out pamphlets which contained like passages from a book that he wrote, based off of like the previous LDS church teachings before they like got rid of some stuff because they were going to get in trouble by the state of Utah, you know, like, so he continued to do that. And then in January 1st of 1935, which is when Eldon Charles's son, Eldon, took over. Okay. Along with his 2 wives at the time. Oh, who were named Ethel. I'm not even going to try the last name. And Afton Brown.
Ethel and Afton.
Yes. They took steps to officially begin the cooperative in what's called Bountiful, I believe, Utah.
Bountiful.
So it was like in their, like the outskirts, not outskirts of Utah, but you know,
like like not right in where is it?
Salt Lake.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to go. Oh, you're giving me that look.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. Oh, okay. When I say fundamentalist Mormon, where do you think they're located? Typically.
They're not like in the main city.
Right.
They're like out in the outskirts, right? Like, because they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
But where? Are they still in Utah?
They're still in Utah.
Okay, I don't know.
They're actually all over the place.
Oh, wow.
But so, yeah, we're going to learn.
We're going to learn some more.
Here in a second. Ooh. Just how crazy it is that this cult, this fundamentalist group is still around.
Right.
So they started in Bountiful, Utah.
Okay.
They started because they wanted to live under a, quote, united order, which is Joseph Smith's, like, the founding Mormon
guy.
Father. It was like his like doctrine, right? So they wanted to live under the order. Well, then Eldon Kingston officially filed for recognition for the cooperative, not the church, but the cooperative in the state of Utah, due to the goods and services that they produce, not only for the members, but also for the public. They have so many businesses, it's ridiculous. We'll get into it. But so he filed for like official recognition from Utah because this cooperative had so many businesses that helped not only themselves but the public.
Okay.
And then in 1977, Ortel, so Eldon's son,
Ortel
filed no, not his son, his brother. Sorry, that's my bad.
Brother. Interesting.
Okay, I knew there was something between Eldon and John Ortel. But his brother filed for recognition of the Latter-day Church of Christ, so the church.
Okay.
And I guess it worked. I guess. I don't know how it worked. So I think they hid certain aspects of it.
Okay.
But the LDS church does not officially recognize them.
Right.
Obviously.
They're like, no.
But I think like the church was recognized and the cooperative was recognized because they do things for public.
Okay. Like
not just themselves.
Yeah. They like. Yeah. They have, you said like stores?
They have stores, businesses,
okay,
all kinds of stuff.
So they're part of the community.
They are part of the community.
So, okay.
Now, the church, the Latter-day Church of Christ, is very prominent in Bountiful. However, it is located in the heart of Salt Lake City, Utah.
What? Like their church, like
their church
thingy.
The Order's church.
The Order's church
is located in Salt Lake City.
Interesting.
Their businesses are located in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
That's what baffles me. The fundamentalist group is not just on the outskirts. It's literally in Salt Lake City.
And are they still well, I guess you're going to tell me. They're still practicing polygamy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, how is that? Because I thought that they kicked out all
Exactly. They went so far under the radar for so long.
They've been skating by.
Yeah. Is crazy. Because they like governmentally take different names, and we'll get into like the children aspect and like, because like, you know, you have so many children, one of them's gonna slip up in school.
Oh yeah,
we'll get into like the school.
Some of them don't have as many like they don't know what they're supposed to say and not say. Exactly. Just say
yes. So we're going to get into the businesses.
Okay.
Just very short little snippet. They have a 300-acre dairy farm in Davis County, which is the Davis County Cooperative.
How are they keeping that hidden? 300 acres.
They're not keeping it hidden. It's a dairy farm.
Oh, so people are just doing business with them.
So they're not keeping it hidden. Yeah, but it's under the cooperative.
Okay.
They have a 3,200-acre farm in Idaho.
Good grief.
They have a coal mine in Emery County, Utah. They have a 1,200-acre acre farm also in Idaho, in the same county in Idaho.
Interesting.
So they have a 3,200-acre farm and then also a 1,200-acre farm. They have discount grocery stores. They own Desert Tech Firearms.
Oh.
They have like a restaurant supply company. Like
this is just the Kingston family or the whole cooperative?
This is the cooperative, which is the Kingston family.
Okay.
It's like the Kingston family and like
people like I think part of the business is like probably from their church, right? No, what?
From the members?
Yeah, like from the members. Are they in the businesses?
Yes, but who are the members?
Oh yeah. Just the Kingston family?
The Kingston family and then the 3 other founding families, which are like still connected to the Kingston family somehow.
Weird.
So it's like,
yeah,
that's the members,
right?
You know, like the members is the family.
So no one like joins it.
No one actually knows how many members there are.
Oh, they keep that hidden.
Yeah,
interesting. Okay,
so
go on.
In 2004, there was like a financial expert like estimated that the co-op had more than $200 million in assets.
Whoa! And
then in 2011. Somebody else came in and was like, actually, it's more like only $150 million.
Oh, okay.
What? I'm like, still, that's crazy. So you think, okay, legitimate businesses. There's some shady stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
The members and their children are forced to work in these like they're like that's their job. Their job is to go and work in one of these businesses. Sometimes you get a crappy job, sometimes you get a nice job. If you get a nice job, you're most likely in the inner circle.
Right.
You're not like you're in the inner circle, but you're not like not a lot of people get nice jobs. A lot of people have to go and like work the coal mines and
not
all that crap.
Yeah.
But they don't get paid.
What? How is that legal?
You don't get cash. Exactly.
Sorry, like what?
They don't get cash payment. They don't really let outsiders work in their stores. It's the members.
Yeah, because no one else is going to work for that.
The members work in their stores so that they don't it's not even, if they had somebody else working there, like an outsider, they would pay them, obviously.
Well, yeah, you would have to.
But they don't pay them in cash. Instead, they get paid in what's called units, which are basically what these are is like vouchers that they get so that they can go and they can buy it, like they can from another order owned
from
business.
The co-op. You can't take that anywhere else. So interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like
they have their own currency.
I think I remember there was something Paul's son Stephen, he'll come up later. He basically was like, it's basically to encourage if the order doesn't have it, then we don't need it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you get a voucher to go to the grocery store. You get a voucher to go get like these clothes for your child. Not only are they not
paying you, but they're literally just giving you their product.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so you're completely reliant on them.
Right.
Like, so brainwashed. Not to mention.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten into this yet. And it's so hard because I can't. Not to mention your family. It's your family. You're born into it. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to trust your family and trust that they're guiding you in the right direction. So it's like you've been taught this whole time. Yeah. This is how we're supposed to work. This is the right way to do things. And then it's just like, so you half the time you don't know any better because you've never been taught anything different. Right. You know? So again, inner circle, you get better jobs. But also, you're entitled to more wives.
Oh no.
If you're in the inner, if you're an inner member.
Right.
Inner circle member. Speaking of wives.
I was like, what do the women get?
A fat one on nothing. So the LDCC claims that members are free to choose their marriage partner or partners, as marriage is considered an individual's or family's personal choice.
Okay.
So they firmly stand by marriage is optional. It is their choice. They
say that marriage is optional?
Well, obviously they want people to get married, but they say it's their choice who they marry. They're not coerced at all into who they marry.
Sure.
No one's forced to marry anyone. No one's arranging any marriages.
Okay, but
it is believed that some members of the church began to practice, I don't know how to say this word, but basically marriage between relatives.
Marriage between relatives.
Yeah.
There's a word for that?
Consanguineous.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. Turns out I can say it, but consanguineous marriage.
She's got it.
Which is marriage between
disgusting
relatives.
Like, are we talking cousins? Or are we talking about closer?
Oh, we're talking... Oh.
Which cousins is awful enough.
We're talking half siblings.
Oh.
We're talking... Ew. My mom is different than your mom, but our dads are the same.
Yeah.
Let's get married. And I could be incorrect, but there is at one point we were in our office and I remember reading. Yeah. I'm pretty positive full-blooded siblings. No. I'm pretty positive. We're talking half siblings. We're talking first cousins. We're talking aunts and nieces, or uncles and nieces, like ew. Aunts and nephews. Like ew. We're talking.
Yeah. Well, because if crazy. You're only letting your family be part of this, what happens eventually? You're like, oh, there's not enough of us. Mm-hmm. Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, the reason they do this is because they believe that they are direct descendants of Jesus Christ. Oh. And they want to keep their bloodline pure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Newsflash.
Yeah.
Do they...
I think I have this written down later, but it was basically like Jesus and one of his wives came down and told them. Because apparently Jesus had multiple wives too. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So are they saying, like, when they say that they're like a descendant of Christ, they mean like his on earth wives?
Yeah, like they're in the direct bloodline of Jesus Christ. Not like, oh, we're in the family of Jesus. You know, like we're Christians, we're believer, whatever. You know, like it's like, no, they firmly think that like God had multiple, or Jesus had multiple wives.
Yeah.
And they created children, and those children then had children, and they're direct descendants.
I'm calling BS.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So also, not to mention, we're so far removed from Jesus at this point. Even if you were,
well, not even
your bloodline ain't pure anymore. Yeah. So why does it matter?
And also, there's no historical evidence of Jesus having children, and there's also like. Jesus was Jewish, so yes. He is, Middle Eastern, and whatever ethnicity.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna say that you in America, who I'm assuming are white people.
Yes,
but remember, of course, they're so far removed,
but remember, after Jesus died, he came to America.
Oh, I forgot about that bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Mormon faith, that's
That's what they believe.
That's what they believe.
Okay,
well, whatever.
So that's why they do this. So then we're going to get into, and I'm going to try and keep it brief, some legal troubles.
Oh boy.
Upon plural marriage, and all the drama that comes with it. So Jason Kingston had a relationship with his half-sister, Andrea Johnson, who became pregnant in 1922. She suffered from preeclampsia, and like they delayed her medical treatment like quite a bit. She ended up having to have a C-section in order to save the baby, but she ended up dying. She passed away because they waited so long to get her medical attention. That's another thing, you guys. You don't go to the doctor. You don't go to school. You don't go like to the dentist. You don't you don't go to you don't use a bank. You don't go to like lawyers. You don't associate with the outer world. The only time they use lawyers is when there's like a lawsuit from the outside, from people not in the order, not in the co-op, not in the clan, like from people outside. You don't use a lawyer unless someone from them catches on to something, and then you need legal aid. Okay. Huh. And even then, I'm pretty sure that like
when you have no choice,
at this point, yeah. But I'm pretty sure at like this point, in the history of it, like they themselves have gone to school now and gone to like college. Interesting. And probably they have their own like internal lawyers.
Right. For sure.
So anyway, so she ended up dying, and then Salt Lake County.
Okay.
They opened an investigation because like they were trying to conceal the relationship, the nature of the relationship.
Like they're half siblings.
So like someone had caught on that like
something
this
weird
isn't matching up, or like some sort of so they tried to open up an investigation.
Oh goodness.
And that was in 1992.
Oh, dang,
and then Jeremy Kingston was actually sentenced to prison in 2004 for entering into a relationship with Luann Kingston, which was his cousin. Not only was it his cousin, but it was also his aunt.
Oh, what?
This is giving that song. I'm sure you don't know. I'm my own grandpa.
Yeah, literally.
That's what it's giving.
Is he like the third or fourth guy?
Jeremy Kingston is not one of the guys.
He's not. He's just okay.
Yeah, he's just.
He was one of the not as much liked sons.
Illegal. Like he was imprisoned, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Because he married?
Because he married his cousin and aunt as his fourth wife. Here's the thing. He went to prison for only a year. In 2004, he married his wife, his fourth wife, his aunt. His cousin aunt wife.
His cousin aunt.
In 1994.
Oh.
And their relationship, I'm pretty sure this is the only reason he actually served time, was because it began when he was 24 and she was 15.
Oh my gosh.
That's not even the youngest marriage.
Oh my gosh.
There's been younger marriages.
That's disgusting. That's only,
it is.
You said 1994. That's 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was born in 1994.
Yeah.
So, what? That's happening 30 years ago, guys.
Yeah. 30 years ago, a 24-year-old married a 15-year-old who was his aunt, his cousin, and now his wife.
Also, it's his aunt, and she's that much younger than him. Yeah. I mean, that happened. I know bigger families where that happens, where like uncles are younger than
bigger families where that happens, where there's no incest involved.
Where there's no incest or no weird thing, just like they have lots of kids.
It's just homeschool culture.
It's just homeschool. Yeah.
No.
Yes, I knew people that were like, oh yeah, they're the same age as their like uncle or aunt. It's like, oh, what?
Crazy talk. So that happened, and then we're gonna get into David Kingston married his 16-year-old niece, Marianne Nelson. Ooh. That's another thing, is obviously they use like different names legally to like hide
they'll
it.
say like the last name is Nelson when it's actually
when it's actually Kingston. But Marianne Nelson, who so he was gonna marry her, right, and she 16 years old was like, no, I don't want to marry my uncle. So I'm gonna head out.
Run.
It's time for me to go.
Yes,
I'm
girl,
gonna dip out. So she tried to run away.
Yes, girl, run.
But when they found her and they got her back, she was beaten by her father, John Daniel Kingston, who he was arrested and pleaded no contest on the charge of child abuse. He did serve 7 months in jail.
Just 7 months. Okay.
Yeah. He was also convicted of incest and unlawful sexual conduct. And then he was sentenced to a 10-year prison term.
Did he stay there, I hope?
he only served 4 of those 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Then Marianne, she was 16 at the time.
Right.
I don't know if I'm assuming she left eventually.
That
after
was
she
her father, the one in prison.
Her father. So yes,
the grandpa.
Remember, I said they're all
related.
Yeah, but like they're all, it's of their own free will, and they choose who they marry and whatnot.
It's your choice. It's your choice.
That is very much
not true.
Not the truth.
Well, she obviously didn't want to marry him.
So her father looked at his brother and said, "You're gonna marry my daughter."
Can you imagine?
You're gonna marry my daughter. I want my daughter to marry you. And then she was like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, you're gonna freaking do it. And then she runs away. He beats her up. And then her dad goes to jail because her dad beat her up. And so,
yeah, it's your choice, but you mean it's the man's choice?
Right. Well, and we'll get into this a little bit later. Well, actually, we can get into it now because it's not in my notes. It's just something. There are 2 girls on TikTok who were members of this co-op,
right?
And I'm pretty positive. And now I told you that she was the current leader's daughter, but now I'm second guessing that.
Oh no. The person from TikTok.
I'm pretty sure that one of them is the daughter of the current leader.
Okay.
Or at least the granddaughter of the current leader.
Okay.
One of them's related to the current leader. Both of them are related to the current leader.
Yeah, all of them are.
But like in the direct family of it.
Right,
but
right.
Anyways, they talk about like their experience in a polygamous, they call it a cult. So like in a polygamous cult.
Who calls it a cult? Oh, the
girls do.
Yeah.
So you guys should check them out. Honestly, if you look up Kingston Clan, they're like the first ones to pop up. They're these 2 blonde girls.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, some of the stuff that they say. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
So, but according to them, how it works is someone will go to your father and present themselves for marriage to you.
Oh, okay.
And then you have like these weekly meetings with your father, and he tells you all the people who have approached him, and you're supposed to write them down. And you have to include the married men who have approached your father. But basically how it actually works is he does not tell you everyone who goes to him to present themselves. He only tells you the people that he wants you to marry.
Oh.
And most of the time it's an elder relative.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Who is already married and already has like 3 wives or 4 wives or what.
I would just be like, no. Okay, well, what happens if you just deny all of them all the time? You're eventually forced.
I mean, clearly you get beat.
Yeah.
But so that's like when they have a choice. Technically, yeah, sure, you got told 2 names.
Yeah, you get to choose one.
But actually 50 guys went to your dad and he only told you 2 of them. So it's like, it's very arranged.
Yes.
It is very arranged. And if you're not married by the time you're 15, because like at this time she was
15?
She was 15.
Yeah.
The other girl, Luann, was 15.
Yeah.
But if you're not married by that time, you are like pledged to a person
by 18?
Way sooner. So it's like, oh, you're pledged, because like these girls were like, all you think about when you're younger is like, who are you going to marry? Because marriage is so young.
Yeah.
So like there was like
you don't even get
an instance where a 13-year-old was married off. This was way back in the start of it, but like
that's still only like what, the 30s when it started?
Well, it started in the Great Depression. So yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. But Marianne, the girl who got beaten up, she filed for a $110 million lawsuit against like the other members of the cooperative. And she basically was like, alleging intentional sexual abuse of a child and intentional infliction of emotional distress. But unfortunately, the lawsuit was dropped without any settlement.
Are you kidding
So they
me?
just dropped it. So I don't know if they like intimidated her.
Yeah, well,
or
that's what definitely
like what happened, but
she was suing them for all they had. Almost.
Yeah.
You said 110 million?
110 million.
Yes.
She's they're like 110 million is a big chunk of what's known.
Did you say 150 billion in the beginning? I thought you said million.
No, it's million. But that's a big chunk. Well, it's more like 300 now.
Oh, okay.
That was in 2011.
Oh, okay.
But it's a big chunk.
Yeah.
But again, that's of what's known.
Of what's known. Yeah, they definitely have more than that. They're keeping that in the vaults.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They are. Like Stephen Kingston, Paul's son. He left the group.
Oh.
And he came back and took a lot.
Oh, he took. Okay, good.
He took a lot.
I was like, I thought you meant he went back to. I was like, no.
He he knew where the big money was kept. He knew which houses those were, and he took it.
Oh, you smart.
Yeah. So
good job.
And then he was so funny. He took it and then he left a note. This wasn't your. It was like, this wasn't yours, or this didn't belong to you anyways. Thanks.
This didn't belong to you. That's funny.
There was like silver bars,
just like silver bars laying there,
like a bunch of like coins and stuff.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, so originally, again, we're jumping around a little bit. I'm so sorry. Originally, like Eldon Kingston. So not the like Charles Kingston was the founder. This is the second one. This is the son.
Okay.
He eventually got it to where the members, his followers, would wear blue denim outer garments. What? And they were often referred to as like other people as the blue coats.
The blue coats.
So the males would wear a blue coverall. And it would be tied with a string, and then the women and girls, they would wear like a denim dress, basically.
Oh gosh.
And this was a symbol to symbolize the renunciation. Is that how you say that word?
Renunciation. Yeah, I guess so.
They renounced. Yeah. They were renouncing the worldly goods. They had no pockets in their outer clothing.
That's so annoying.
At the beginning, but then they were like, nah, we're gonna sew in a singular interior pocket, that you can like keep a handkerchief in.
Oh, okay, a handkerchief.
They were barefoot.
Okay.
I saw it said bareheaded and barefoot. I'm assuming that means like they didn't wear any like hair clips or hats coverings or anything like that. Yeah. And then they were barefooted. But this practice did stop in the 40s.
Oh, okay.
So they said people are catching on that we're a little different, and we want to keep that under wraps.
Right. Let's look a little bit more normal.
So that now they wear normal clothes, but they're encouraged obviously to keep it modest.
Right. Of course.
Obviously. Children are not allowed to attend public school, but they created this thing called the Vanguard Academy. So they've started going to the Vanguard Academy, and this limits the access to outside people because, again, children got loose lips. They be talking. They be telling their secrets.
Yeah. This is going on at home. My uncle married my sister. Like,
oh, he's my uncle, but he's also my brother, and he's also but also my dad.
And they said, I'm sorry, what?
What? Yeah. So
no.
But funny story about that actually is that children are not actually told who their father is until they're around 3 years old, and they can like comprehend the fact that, hey, if you tell people that this is your daddy, you're gonna get in trouble. Oh. He's gonna get in trouble. You're going to get taken away from everything you've ever known and loved. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, there was, again, Stephen, Paul's current son. Him and his mom were somewhere, and she said, oh, look, there's your Uncle Paul. It's not his uncle. It's his father.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they're not told until they're old enough to like comprehend,
understand. Like
there are serious consequences if you tell people that this is your father.
So weird.
Yeah. So that's messed up, and think about how confusing that is to be told your Uncle Paul is actually your father, but don't tell anyone.
Right.
Like,
right.
You know,
that you don't know better, like, because you're only with that family. So
you're only with that family.
You don't know any better.
You're even if like you're like, okay, I won't tell anyone. Then you're put into like the Vanguard Academy, which is like still only like just your members.
Yeah. So even if you tell them,
Yeah.
They'll just be, okay, it's mine too.
They'll be like, we can't say that, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Even though you know already.
They'll be like, oh yeah, Paul's my dad. Really? Right. You two? We're brothers.
Yeah, like, literally.
Like, whatever.
Just living in a different house. Like,
seriously. So members of the Latter-day Church of Christ have faced 2 lawsuits. Whoa.
What is happening?
It got really quiet. What the heck was
Sorry,
that?
it just made a weird noise.
So members of the LDCC, the Latter-day Church of Christ, they faced 2 lawsuits, one in 2006 and one in 2022. And it was basically saying like, hey, you're sexually abusing and you're like minors, and then you're also arranging underage marriages. So in 2022, it was filed by attorney, and apparently he's a TV producer too, Roger Hoole. Hoole? Hoole?
Hoole.
And in 2009, the Attorney General of Utah, Mark Shurtleff. Sure. Whatever you say it. He claimed that child marriages and within polygamy societies in Utah, such as Latter-day Church of Christ, had, quote, effectively stopped.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So,
but how did they know that?
But clearly they haven't, because one's still happening.
Right.
So the suit, I mean, it obviously alleged marriages as young as 16.
Gosh.
We already know there's marriages younger than that.
Yeah.
Within the LDCC. However, the current law of Utah allows individuals 16 and 17 years of age to marry with the court's approval. What? So like if you're 16 and you want you want to get married, you can get court approval to get married when you're 16 years old in the state of Utah.
What?
So nothing happened. Even though
yeah, that's not,
there are younger marriages, and they're also only are there younger marriages, but they're also pledging their daughters to a person when they turn 16 or when they turn 18, or like, like they're still pledged to that person. They're still like, there's no like, you're going to this man when you turn 16,
right?
Or when you turn 18, because they have gotten smarter about it. They've tried to like, wait until the person's older, but then they don't even want an engagement period that lasts more than like 6 months. Like they don't want that. They want to get them, like, basically like, you're getting married, great, let's see you next weekend. Like like that's basically they don't want it to last long, because they don't want you to change your mind, and they don't want you to
get wise.
No. Again, the law is 16 and 17, but in February of 2023, the 2022 lawsuit was dismissed in state court, and they promised to refile a similar case in federal court. Okay. And then Roger Hoole refiled a similar case in federal court in March of 2024. So we don't know what happened.
Right. So this is still going on, like you said. My gosh.
Yeah. So ex members reported, because if you're 16 or 17 and you get court approval, you're going and you're clearly wanting to do this. You're not being coerced. However, ex members reported being coerced into arranged marriages that they did not want. They don't want it at the age of 13 to their uncles and cousins.
Right. And even when you said, if they're going to the court for approval, what if they're being coerced to go to the court? Like, exactly. They're pressured. They don't know any better. Like, they're still not making
even
their full
if they're not
decisions.
like, even if it's not like I don't really want to marry him. It's also like hey, you're going to marry your uncle. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I guess that's normal, but you don't know that that's told illegal.
That that's like, the world is telling us that's bad, but this is like the way we get to wherever we're going, you're just like, okay, like, if you,
because that's what you know.
Yeah, if that's what you believe.
You don't know anything. That's what you're being taught. You're being it's indoctrination. So gosh. So here's the tea. Here's the tea, sis.
She literally has the tea written. I saw the tea. Okay, tell me the tea.
The order,
as if that wasn't tea.
Right. The order runs what prosecutors believe to be one of the largest organized crimes crime operations in Utah.
What?
Remember they have their own like gun.
Yeah. You mentioned that the firearms.
They plan to use that. Oh, I'm skipping ahead. But anyways, they plan to use that because there's going to be like this huge like
apocalypse
event or whatever.
Okay. They're preparing for the end of the world.
Like they created that so that they could have guns, so that they didn't have to like go to the government and get background checks.
Oh,
and register, because if you have background checks, your mom's also your dad. Who's your what? Like that's gonna raise questions.
How do they have the business without having a background check for that? Or is it like
you don't need a business? You don't need a background check to create a business, do you?
To sell guns, you have to have some sort of license, surely.
Well, but remember, they're keeping it in the family.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess. So where did they get the guns
from?
So
one person could have done it, and then, I inherited my father's store. You don't need a background check for that. You inherited it from your father. We know you inherited it from your father. But how are you getting
guns? Because guns have serial numbers that they trace.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless you're making guns.
Huh? I don't know.
Sorry, this is getting into the legality of it all. Is that a word?
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
So over the 75 years, the Kingston family has amassed a fortune worth an estimated $300 million. Like I said before, like it was like 200, then it was 150. Now it's like $300 million.
Gosh.
Again, Stephen Kingston, Paul's son, decided to take matters into his own hands. After leaving the order, he stole millions from them.
Good on you, mate.
Because he realized just how much his father was exploiting people.
Yeah. For sure.
Again, according to people who have left the order, the cult exploits at the time that the article I was reading was written, it said 2,000 members. Again, gosh, we don't know.
2,000 members of just the family?
Exactly. We don't know how many actual members there are. But it's virtually slave labor. And 100%. They hide profits from tax collectors. Children born into the clan make up a majority of the labor force. So poor girls, kids. Many of them being teen brides, they answer phones at the order's law offices.
Right.
So like they have lawyers now. They have their own lawyers. They bag groceries at their supermarket. They they make sure like the children's like not ministry, but like the daycare.
Take care of them.
Yeah. They run that. The boys, they work in the coal mines. They do this stack boxes at the like grocery restaurant.
Store. Oh, restaurant. Yeah.
Well, restaurant supply. They have a restaurant supply.
Right. Yeah.
They have like a discount store that the boys will work at. Again, they're not paid in cash. Yeah. They're paid in units.
That just sounds like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Our units. They pay in units.
Well, the units are they're a form of credit is what I found. It's a form of credit used by like the pioneers of Mormonism.
Oh.
And again, they can only be redeemed at the order's stores. Again, if the order doesn't have it, the clan teaches that we don't need it.
Cool. Okay,
so now we're going to get into Paul Kingston because he's the leader.
Paul, is he the leader now?
Polly boy. Yes, he's the current leader.
Okay.
So Paul, he wore secondhand suits, obviously. Yes, they have a lot of money, but they can't look like they have a lot of money.
Right. You give it away, yeah.
So he wore like secondhand suits. He spoke in like an emotionless tone.
Okay.
He was very monotone.
Okay.
He had an office in like central Salt Lake.
Right.
Which is crazy. It was very old and needed a lot of work. He was rarely seen though. Like every now and then people would see his car, but like he was not seen at all because instead of actually being at work in his office, he was visiting one of his 30 wives.
30?
And if he wasn't visiting one of his 30 wives, he was visiting one of the back rooms at the order's business.
Back rooms?
The back rooms where all the other stuff was going on.
Suspicious.
It's not clear to me exactly what was going on in the back rooms.
30 wives.
Oh, Hannah.
Oh, what?
How many children does this man have?
200.
He's got 300 kids.
Oh my gosh. So each of them at least have 10? Did I do that right?
Yeah.
But like probably not all of them have 10, but like an average?
300 kids.
How can you
that are confirmed. that are confirmed.
Oh, holy crap.
That's what one of the articles said.
He has 30 wives, he's going around with other women too.
Oh,
that
yeah.
aren't even his wives.
Oh, yeah. And they have favorite wives. And
yeah.
Like literally, I was literally about to be like, if he's not in the back room, then he's visiting one of his favorite wives on his lunch break, sneaking away, or he's getting a massage for the preparation of his 40-day fasts.
They're not fasts. They're not fasts.
No, he does.
I bet
he does. Probably not. Probably doing drugs.
Something.
That's rude. I'm sorry. But it's basically it's a ritual that he does. It's a purification ritual. To get closer to God.
Maybe don't have 30 wives.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you even have that much energy? To stay.
They literally
what?
He would go you choose which wife you're going to be with that night because you can't all live together because then it's obvious that you're all married to the same guy.
Yeah.
So you got to have separate houses and stuff. And so you visit each wife depending on their fertility window.
Oh no!
Because the goal is to create children. A master race. Of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, they were taught they were literal descendants of Jesus. Yeah. So Paul preached an exaggerated teaching of the Book of Mormon, and it's called the White Horse Prophecy.
Oh dear.
And this is what I was talking about. It's basically, it's like this cataclysmic event that, this is from him, that black people will rise up and attempt to destroy the white man. However, they will be deterred by the Native Americans riding in to rescue.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. He preached that the order members are responsible for building a master race, which is why all marriages are arranged within the 4 founding families that started the cult. And again, the 3 other families are somehow connected to the Kingston.
So they're also
family.
Racist and
extreme racist.
And they obviously don't know that Jesus wasn't white.
Right. They're also often referred to as the blood cult.
Because they want to keep their blood pure.
They want to keep their blood pure. They are not to associate with anyone of color, which is interesting to me because the Native Americans are coming in to save the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was because I was looking into it because I was like, does that mean he thinks they're native
to America as
well? The Kingstons are?
Yeah. But probably they think Jesus. Oh no.
He literally meant Native American.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
The people that we stole the land from.
Right.
Those people. Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's okay. It just has some. It's just okay.
Yeah. So they're okay, but black people aren't okay.
Yeah.
Any other race, really.
Yeah, really any other race is not okay. It's what? It baffles my mind.
Yeah. So, again, you want to marry within, keep the bloodline pure.
Right.
However, the issue with this is that the leaders of the order, they were taking on too many wives because they're all in the inner circle. So they're taking on way too many wives. A little bit. Their sons basically had so one to marry.
Right. Who are they?
So it's who am I going to marry? So then it's they're so it's an issue currently. It's their sons have no one to marry. So it's what in the world? At
some point, and then there starts to be physical consequences of marrying within. I'm just saying
and there are.
And
we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, so basically Paul was, according to his son, seemed to be taking a wife every year, and each one of them was not only were they younger, but they were more attractive than the last wife. And so it's at this point, it's really not about it for you guys, for you in particular. It's not about keeping the bloodline pure. Yeah. It's about this one's pretty. Why do you have 30 wives? Why do you have 300 children, sir? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just stop.
What's
also
the world?
Disease? Mm-hmm. If you're having that many relations with that many people?
Yeah. Well, because it is unprotected because you're trying to procreate.
You're trying to, And do the wives know about the other wives?
Yes, all the wives know about the other wives.
Okay.
Yeah. They're born into it. This is what's normal to them.
But he sounded like he was going way around, like with the 30s. I was like, do they all know about each other?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, because he's getting married.
Right.
He's having a marriage ceremony. Again, like he had a favorite. He would ovulation cycle, fertility windows, whatever.
Disgusting.
So another thing about the leaders is like they preach strict abstinence to children, which I get it. But they even they're not allowed to like incidental contact between a male and a female.
What, like touching hands?
Child, like bumping into each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Like that is forbidden.
Oh, my gosh. Well, what if it was an accident?
Right. But the leaders seem to be able to do whatever they want.
Right. Like, it makes no sense.
It's like, okay, that's fine. I'm 15 years old. According to you, I can marry you.
But I can't bump into...
Why are you coming and giving me a hug?
Right.
If that's the case. If I am eligible to be married...
Right.
And you're allowed to have multiple wives.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, well, he's married, so that's fine. It's like, no, you're allowed to. Why are the leaders allowed to come and like rub my back a little bit?
Because they're perverts.
Because they're freaking perverted.
Yeah.
It is a perversion.
Yes.
I don't care. We're
calling it out.
You can make a master race if you want to. You can blame it on that. But there is no godly reason that you, a 40-year-old man, need to go after your 13-year-old niece.
Right. You know who else wanted to make a master race?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
But not even like your niece. Also, your half-sister.
Yeah.
You don't need to go after your half-sister.
No.
You're in your 30s.
It's disgusting.
She's 15.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, that's not needed.
Yeah.
At least wait like third cousin. You know, like you can. That's still kind of a master rate. You know, like whatever. That there's no need to be going after children. And here's the thing. And this is alleged. This is me alleging things.
Okay.
If you are marrying young.
Yeah.
You're doing things to other people. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way that, sure, you're married to, you have like 10 wives.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. If they're all in their 20s, you married them when they were 15. You're doing stuff to 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You just are.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a leader and you have like some sort of power over them. Like, that's just... it sickens me.
Call it out.
It sickens me.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So as we all know, incest is the norm in the clan, in the group, in the co-op, in the operation, or not the operation, the order. In 2003, the police showed up to an order barbecue, or it most likely was an order. I can't remember if it was like the ball or whatever it is. They basically had a party every weekend.
Okay.
And we'll get into it. There was like these dance cards and blah, 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 whatever. We'll get into it. It was basically happened every weekend. And they arrested him for marrying his underage cousin. So that's a win for us right there.
One win for us.
But just one man.
Yeah, just one man.
Yeah, they just had the proof of the one man marrying his underage cousin.
Disgusting.
Which again, if by law it's 16... You can then she was younger than 16.
Then she was younger than 16.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
According to former members, there are decades, obviously, of inbreeding that have resulted in rampant birth defects.
Right.
Some of those defects are children being born blind, children having missing fingers, undersized heads. There's even a report that one baby had far too many deformities and was put in a shoebox and left outside to die.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, think about it. You have generation after generation after generation of like half sibling.
Yeah, these poor children.
Reproduction.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's physical consequences that eventually come of this.
You're
poor kids.
Well, and think about it too. I understand like some are a little farther removed than others, right? Like some it's like, like we're second cousins.
Cousins of cousins of cousins.
Yeah, whatever.
Which is still gross.
It's still gross, but like that's a little further removed.
Yeah.
But like if it's half sibling,
yeah, you're practically a sibling. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like
yeah, like if it
two half siblings make a sibling, right?
Especially because it's like, oh, our moms were half siblings.
Yeah,
like we're half siblings,
so
sure, but also our moms are half siblings.
Yeah,
and so it's like, you know, like
yeah.
If it's that many generations,
the DNA be getting jumbled.
The amount of like, I'm shocked they're still even able to have children.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, like, it's going to be like,
shocked there's not this like more. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but like miscarriages and stuff like that. You know, like,
well, there probably is.
There probably is about them. Yeah,
but they're probably like, because it's only been since like the 1930s, right?
Yeah, it's only been the 30s.
So like,
there's people who are still alive.
When you say that there's not 30s, like, like when there's not that, like they can't have children yet. Like it's going to happen if it keeps happening.
They're gonna, yeah.
Sorry, we were really on soapboxes, but like,
no, I know, but like, thank God it's gonna happen. Please come sooner.
Stop it.
Like, hurry up.
Yeah, what is that? What is that apocalypse thing that you're talking about?
Yeah. Can that hurry up and get here?
Can that hurry up and get there? And like, just like that. Sorry, that's kind of horrible. I'm not gonna say it just in that portion, but like also,
just for that, like, doing just on their property.
Yeah, what they're doing is awful.
Yeah, it is. So Mark Shirtliff, Utah Attorney General. He has spent years investigating this group. He's tried to gather birth certificates, genealogical data, like all kinds of stuff. He believes that there is a long list of crimes that they are guilty of, including 1, child labor, 2, tax evasion, 3, welfare fraud, 4, polygamy.
We know that.
5, sanctioning of underage marriages. 2, blood relative. I feel like there should be 6. I feel like it should be 5, sanctioning underage marriage.
Yeah.
6, sanctioning underage marriage to blood relatives.
Yes, and 7, physical abuse. Did we mention that one? Did he mention physical abuse? Because
sexual abuse of a minor.
Yeah.
If you're marrying a 15-year-old, you're sexually abusing a minor.
Well, and that father beat the one girl is what I mean. Like actual, like, you know.
Child abuse.
Yeah,
so really there should be 8.
There should be like 8, yeah. But
there should probably be more than that. But like,
he could get him on 6.
I feel like this is like what he feels like he could probably get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he can get them on, not like get away with, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But again, like last time he went after him, we saw how that panned out.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Well, prove.
She was 16 in Utah at the age of 16. You can get court approval to be married. So it's like, oh, but that's to infuriating. Your yeah, again, like to your actual literal uncle, like to your father's brother.
Do you remember this? Like when you got your marriage thing, like it did say, "Are you related to this person?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, like when I was like filling out. Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry.
Cousins can marry each other.
Yeah, I was like, no.
But in Florida, it can be first cousins.
Oh.
And I think that is, we can attribute the Florida man to that a little bit.
Right. We need to just get rid of all that. Don't marry relatives.
There's actually a lot more states than you think where you can marry your first cousin.
That's actually crazy. It's crazy.
It's weird. It's weird to me.
It's weird.
It's weird to me. I could not.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
But
nope.
Also, another side note, it's like those things where it's like you're like dating or you just got married and then like people did like the ancestry DNA kits and then they found out they're like actually cousins or and then they're like guess we gotta get divorced.
Like what do you what?
Yeah,
that would be oof.
I saw this video and I don't know if it was real or not because you can never tell on the internet, but it was like they were getting like DNA taken and they were like looking at it.
Oh yeah,
they opened the results and it was like we're cousins. Like we're like actually like we're
cousins.
It was either their cousins or like half siblings.
Yeah, it was
and they didn't know.
Yeah.
And like they had the same dad but like different moms and they didn't know about each other or something. Yeah. It was like they were very close.
Yeah.
And they were married and had 3 kids. And then he was like, just put that away. We're 3 kids deep at this point. Just we can't tell anybody. And it was like, oh my god,
the way that would affect you though, like I couldn't like ever put that in the back of my mind. Yeah,
it'd be like every time you try to kiss me I'd be like no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like no I can't. Sorry, that was
because like but no, like it's like people you know, it happens, people don't know.
Yeah.
Or like a mom, there was a story, I believe it was also in Florida, a mom gave her son up for adoption.
Oh no.
Because she was a teen mom.
Yeah.
So she gave her son up for adoption.
Oh no, please no.
It's a closed adoption. And then years later, she starts dating this younger guy, and it turns out to be her son.
No.
I would be mortified.
I hope she found out before anything too weird. No.
I would be absolutely mortified.
I would. Yeah, no. Well, I guess it doesn't. Yeah. Not everyone looks like you, but I'm like, wouldn't there be like some sort of like, this kid kind of looks like me a little. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I mean, you can argue that Marshall and I look similar. We have
well, you don't.
Dark brown curly hair. But we're pale skin.
But you don't look anything alike. No features.
Listen.
Doesn't Marshall have blue eyes?
Yeah. But Marshall and my oldest brother have been mistaken for each other by family members.
Interesting. That's awkward.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
Obviously it was from behind, right? Or from the side or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, oh, sorry, you are not who I thought you were." Like, yeah. Right. So it's like, if you have similar traits, it doesn't mean you're related all the time. You know, I can 100% say I'm not related to Marshall.
Yeah.
We are simply married.
Anyways,
sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Where were we? Okay. So, going back to the dances. Yeah, there was dances every weekend.
So that's where we were?
Yeah. Dances this is my last little snippet. Okay. So there's dances every weekend. And the fathers would create a dance card for the daughters. And it was basically everyone they wanted
you to get with?
The daughter to dance with. And I'm
surprised they can dance.
They would include...
they can touch each other dancing?
I guess for this purpose only.
For this purpose only. Okay.
But because again, it was you're trying to find someone.
It's like a church picnic.
Yeah. But you're trying to find someone for your daughter to marry, basically. And they had to include the age, the birth dates on their dance cards.
Okay.
Of the girls and stuff. And so, they would take place every weekend. And basically, like I was telling you, men would offer themselves for marriage, but the fathers would only tell the girls about the ones they wanted to marry. And again, it was usually an older relative, and they usually already had multiple wives. Which is
so
crazy.
Why would you want to why would you want to marry into something that already had 3 wives? You're just another piece in the puzzle.
You're just a breeder. That's the thing about this. It's basically they view women as basically breeders. They're not going to come out and say that. Yeah. But basically women are there to breed more members of your family, basically. Mm-hmm. That's all they're viewed as. It's sure, you can go get a job as a receptionist if you want to. Yeah. But you're not going to get paid for it. You're just going to get a credit to go to the grocery store.
Right. I just want to know, because if you're basing this off of you think you're descended from Jesus, where did Jesus ever say I only want we only marry within?
We need my.
He's always go
bloodline.
To the stranger, go to the alien, go to the Samaritan. All the outcasts. Jesus was always
well, but Hannah, that's in the Bible. That's not in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They don't follow the Bible.
They don't follow the Bible.
But I'm just saying, if you're talking about Jesus,
they follow the Book of Mormon.
That's right. They have their own version. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Where Jesus came over from.
Yeah.
From where was it? What? Where is it?
Where did Jesus come over from?
Where did Jesus die?
Oh, Israel?
Yes. He came over from Israel as a ghosty boy and said,
a ghosty boy.
Hey, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Actually, America, what?
I'm gonna hide these tablets. I'm gonna let this guy find them after he looks at some rocks.
But it was with the angel Moroni. Was that his name? Something like that Jesus sent.
Yeah.
There's some angel that they talk about. You'll have to go back and listen to the Mormon one.
Yeah, just go back. It's been a hot second. But yeah.
Yeah. So is that the end of the cult?
That's the end of the cult.
Except it's still going on.
Except we haven't heard the last of it. So. But yeah, you should definitely check out those girls on TikTok.
Yeah. Get some first-hand
I realize I never gave you their handle. One of them
is
sisters? Amanda. Probably.
They look alike.
They're probably related.
Well, they are related, right?
They're related, but
are they closely related? Because they look.
They look alike. They look alike. They do.
From that video, they looked alike. I don't know if that's
It's Priscilla Tucker 882 is one of them, and then it is
Kingston Clan family tree.
Amanda Ray. It looks like
Amanda Ray
but Priscilla Tucker 882 I think has more videos.
And did they change their last names?
I don't know. Actually,
I would have. Well, I mean, like also because, or
I don't know if they changed their last names or if that's the names they were told to go by.
Yeah,
and so they just went by them.
Dang.
Yeah. So, don't join a cult.
Don't marry any relatives. If you feel like
you might be in a cult based off of anything we talked about today, get some help.
Yeah, talk to someone.
Girl, go to law enforcement. Actually, maybe don't because you might get unalived. But like, just get out.
Go to like a psychologist.
Go to a safe space.
who has to report it. Or
yeah. Maybe lock yourself into like make yourself go to like a psych ward. Not because we think you're crazy, but just because like they probably can't get to you there.
Yeah.
And then let everything play out, and then you can go. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how people get out without being found out, but obviously people have left before, so you can do it too.
And if you're in any religion where you feel like you can't figure out things for your own self, I would suggest looking into it. Look into it a little bit more. Why can't you?
Why is this not allowed?
Yeah.
Anyways,
be safe.
Be safe. We would love to hear from you guys if you have any other topics similar to this or even not similar at all to this that you would want us to cover. You can reach out to us at lattespodcast@gmail.com, on Facebook and Instagram under Lattes on My Mind, or on our website, not our Facebook, our website, lattespodcast.com.
Yep.
You can also post or comment on any of our posts on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, or YouTube, or I think we're on more than that. And I don't know how we got on more than that, but wherever you're listening to us, comment, let us know.
Exactly. Let us know if there's any other little hidden societies or
cults. If you have been in a cult and you want to discuss your experience,
we will have you on the podcast.
We will schedule a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, and we don't even have to show you if you don't want to be shown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't even have to use your picture. We don't even have to use your real name.
Yeah, you could be Bob.
Yeah, we don't even have to use your real gender either.
Yeah,
if you're Bob and you want to go by Cheryl, you can go by Cheryl.
Yeah. We'll say Cheryl was in this cult.
Yeah.